Battle Royale games is a type of gameplay which allows you to play online with millions of other people and test your skills doing different things and ultimately try to come out as being the #1 winner. Or as most kids, I mean people watching this video would call a #1 victory royale. And in recent years, Battle Royales have pretty much become the most popular genre of gameplay, ousting even open-world sandbox games that have previously taken the most popular spots such as GTA titles and Minecraft, and so on and so forth. Some titles in the Battle Royale industry have recently broken records, but there's a reason why this isn't lasting long, and soon the Battle Royale genre of games will be nothing but an extinct, distant memory. So I hope that intro was dramatic enough to start off this video, and if you're brand new here, just so you guys know, my name is Dallas, aka Infurness, and you're watching the Thetekkitrealm, of course. For all of you who are new, make sure you just kindly annihilate the subscribe button as usual, because if you don't, you'll miss out on 10 years of good luck. I think we can all agree that at some point in time, we've all played at least one game that can be considered Battle Royale. After all, Minecraft theoretically invented the whole concept of fighting other people online, and it was one of the most popular aspects of the game itself, and even up to today, people still play it in a regular basis in the millions. And that is what partly has inspired the entirely new game genre, which is solely built to do that exact same thing. However, in this video, we're going to discuss one fatal flaw that all of the games that are in the Battle Royale genre suffer from, which will inevitably cause every single one of them to perish, and in general, cause the end of the popularity of Battle Royale games. Well, the answer might actually not just be one certain thing, and it might vary due to different reasons. But to first get into it, we need to first understand how a Battle Royale game can affect the people that play it. And to do that, we have to ask ourselves, what was the first game that we ever played? More particularly, that's what I'm asking you right now. And there's no way for you to actually respond to me right now, obviously, so I'm just gonna have to use the best thing I could possibly do as an alternative, and that is the card section, of which you can click on right there. Obviously, I cannot list every single game that's ever been invented that you could have ever possibly played for your first game, but I'm gonna assume the best possible choices that you most likely did. And this is for my own curiosity too. But learning what first game that you ever saw or you were ever introduced to that you played can give us a lot of information on what games do to capture our attention. Now, if you were anything like me, then basically what you did growing up from the age of 0 to 5 was basically sit around doing nothing all day except eating graham crackers and grandma's grilled cheese sandwiches while playing a legendary game console that I'm sure we all have heard of called the Leapster.
I'm always up for a challenge.
And we all probably started playing games either with a Leapster or with a Wii. Unless you're actually before all of that time and you're a boomer or something like that and you actually started playing with a GameCube or something. In which case, I can't relate to you. You are beyond my existence, so I'm just gonna pretend like you are not here. Just kidding. So the chances are that if you were born before the era of 2000, you probably grew up playing a game like Mario or Tetris or Donkey Kong. And if you were born after that point and you grew up past that, then you probably grew up playing games such as Wii Sports, or the Leapster Dora the Explorer Wildlife Rescue game, which is 10 out of 10 if you ask me. But whichever game it was obviously captivating enough to keep your feeble attention span to it for an immense amount of time. So as you get older and you're no longer just a 5-year-old kid who likes doing stuff like that, your interests and your motives change, and also what you like doing with your time changes. And therefore, the game companies that market all kinds of games to you have to adapt to that. So what about a period of time in your life when you're in the middle of developing from a child to an adult, where you're still interested in playing video games and you still have time to do so, but you're not also just interested in playing random children's games because you kind of matured and grown up from that point. So what they do to counter that is they just make something that has a little bit of both, featuring themes that are no longer just childish or something that just appeals to children, but also in the fashion of a video game with flashy animations and lots of good graphics, which stimulate your still growing brain and also keeps your attention glued to your little Xbox screen for long amounts of time while your mom screams at you to keep doing your homework, which you inevitably just wait until the next day to just copy off the kid next to you in class. Okay, maybe I'm talking about my life a little bit too much here. And thus, from this, we have a revelation. What is born out of the dust is what we now call a battle royale game, including 3 aspects: an action aspect, social aspect, and brain stimulation aspect, also known as it's addicting as frick. Alright, so it was kind of hard to even get information for this video because every single time I try to type in Battle Royale into any search or place that gives you statistics about searches and data, it just comes up with a movie called Battle Royale that was posted a long time ago. Did I just say posted? It was posted. However, on YouTube, the topic of Battle Royale games have been searched way more in the last year than any other time in the past. So why is this? Well, in general, it's because the people that grew up with YouTube, the largest consumer of media in general, have now grown up to a certain point where they've pretty much, for a lack of a better word, evolved from the childish games they used to enjoy. They've leveled up, so now the companies have to resort to doing more creative ideas. Minecraft and Minecraft's Hunger Games and survival games concept was way ahead of the game. However, of course, I don't think actual game companies just copied this idea. It was more or less just some random thing that just happened to be similar. So now on to the reason why, sadly, as fast as this topic and genre of video gaming brought into popularity, it will also soon die off into nothingness. Now, I'm basically Sherlock Holmes, so you're just going to have to try to keep up with me because I'm pretty fast-paced with this stuff. Okay, I'm just kidding, but I do wear a suit, so I look pretty professional. I'm actually recording this with no pants on. Let's talk about an example of something like this taking place. Recently, there was a game that was invented called Apex Legends. And Apex Legends, within the first week of it existing, became the world's most popular game. It was also the world's most profitable game within the first week that it came out as well. It gathered over 50 million people, individual player accounts, within only a single month of it existing. Of course, this was backed up by the tremendous company that created it and all of their never-ending ad campaigns, but regardless, this game exploded into popularity, and it also skydived back into nothingness. It fell just as fast as it came up. The reason for this is because it checks off all 3 of those things that we just talked about earlier: the action and the socialness and the addiction. But the problem is, it also has a 4th aspect to it, and that is the repetitiveness, also known as the redundancy of the game. There's only one single map you can play on, there's only 5 or so different players you can ever unlock, and there's only a certain amount of things you could ever do before finally getting bored of the game because you've literally just done everything, and your friends will move on to something else. Now, similar games such as Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has countered this little problem by simply updating the game to such a great extent that there's always new material in it for you to not get bored over. But regardless, you can only milk the trend to a certain extent until eventually it's completely dry. And that is unfortunately what is happening with Battle Royale games in general. Except I don't even know why I call it unfortunate, because it's just a natural cycle of trends. They come into existence, and then they just die away like everything else. And it's more or less just people moving on to new things. And you can rest assured and trust that I know what I'm talking about because I actually have a degree in Battle Royaleology, so I'm pretty intelligent about what I'm talking about. I've skydived from imaginary flying floating buses enough times to know for a fact how much longer that floating bus has to live. But yeah, in summary, Battle Royales offer a certain type of gameplay which is very stimulating to people, and especially people that are around the age of a teenager to a developing adult, but it also is redundant, doesn't really have enough features in it to make people not be bored of it after a while, so therefore they will all die off, inevitably suffer the consequences of the natural selection in gaming. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. But one thing that definitely won't die off is this YouTube channel, because we post so many videos here and I'm just so motivated to continue producing them for you guys to watch. So you can keep up to date with that if you just click that little notification bell. It's quite simple. And also, if you enjoyed this video, which of course you did, because why wouldn't you? then just make sure you kindly murder the like button, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Goodbye!